Good day, welcome back into 123 Stitch. Today we thought we would show you how I prepare for a new cross stitch. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy yourself. So where do I start a new stitch? I start with a pad of paper and a pencil and 123stitch.com. I look at the 20 or over 20,000 charts that we have in stock here at 123 Stitch. And for today's stitch, I decided to start a new project, and I chose Happy Birthday by Blackbird Designs. So when you get your chart, you will be able to go inside and get a list of materials that are required for the stitch. So how do I prepare my floss? When you get floss from 123 Stitch, it will come in a bag similar to this. I will take the floss out of the bag and check it against my receipt and the list of materials that are on my chart. I use floss drops, and floss drops come in a package that looks a bit like this as I drop them all over the floor. Some of them are loose, and some of them are on a ring like this. I will copy the floss names like this, and then I will cut them out and then put them on the floss drops just like this. As you can see, it has the floss name and it has the DMC conversion. How do I get my floss onto my thread, my floss drop? This little piece right here. As you can see, it's already designated for this particular floss. And this particular floss happens to be Cinnamon Toast, which is this one. I will take it off of this piece of cardboard, like so, just like this. And as you can see, they are pre-cut. I will take it from here and fold it in half. Well, let's go back up here. This would be the fold. Here, you take the card, Cinnamon Toast, you put the floss through the hole, like so, and make sure you have all the different strands in the right place. They're all secure. You take the floss and you pull the tail through, and the floss is now on the drop. Classic Color Works and the General Arts have already been added to my floss drops. The Weeks die work are a little bit different because they come in one continuous loop, right? So the way I put it on a card is that I use a simple piece of cardboard, just a simple piece of cardboard. I will unwrap the floss like this. Then I will take the end of the fiber, this end. I will put it in the notch that I've made at the top of the cardboard, just like this. And then wrap the floss around the cardboard like so. Okay, so as you can see, it's wrapped all the way around. I will take a pair of scissors. Let me grab my scissors, and I will cut the floss off down here. See, I'm grabbing all of these strands, just like this, and we're going to cut them. My scissors are a little dull. And then lay them on the table, just like this, coming off the cardboard. Put the cardboard side. You're going to gather them all up, just like this. And this floss goes on to this ring. Same thing. Put the bundle through and then draw the tail. And that's how you put those on. As you can see, all of our floss is now on the floss drop. And you say to yourself, what do you want me to do with all these cards, Deborah? You're going to save these. And the way that I store them is that I store them on the same drop or the same hoop or the same little ring here. I put them on here, and why do I save them? Because I normally have some left over, and you can put them directly back on these cards when you're done. Now, where do I go from here? I go to my fabric. This fabric, my fabric comes from 123 Stitch. This is 16 count white. It comes in a cellophane bag, just like this one. If you want your Aida to be serged. When you place your order, make sure that you include that you would like to have that in the special instructions box. The fabric will come pre-serged if you ask for it. And this is for Aida. Linens will come already serged automatically. This is, I said, again, 16 count white. It has been serged. I have ironed the piece of fabric just to make it nice and flat. I will fold it in half, so I can fold it in a quarter or over again, which will make a quarter. And then I crease it really, really well. Really well. Just press right on down. And when you open it up, this point right there is the center of your fabric. So on your chart, you will see that the designer has given you the design size in stitch count, the fabric that they used, and the overall sampler size. I have chosen to do it on 16 count white / cream, 16 count fabric. So what I did was I went to 123stitch. We do have a few fabric calculators there. I went to the one that said Aida. I put in the design size in stitches, 75 by 85. In the border section, I put 3 for finishing. And at the bottom, I put the 16 count. And it told me that I need 11 by 12. And my design size, when I'm finished, it will be 4.69 by 5.31. From there, I go to my fabric and I take my stitch gauge or sewing gauge, and I will move this to 3 inches right there. And then I will put it to my fabric and measure 3 inches from the side and 3 inches from the top. And then take a wash marker. This is a wash away marker that we carry here at 123stitch by Janlynn. I will mark 3 inches in, 3 inches down, and I will carry that line all the way down the fabric. I have decided to use a Nurge hoop, a rather large Nurge hoop. They do come in several different sizes. And with a Nurge hoop, the way that you use them is that you screw them, take this little screw thing here and screw it up or off towards you. You'll push the bottom out like so. Well, you need to unscrew it first, Deb. Take the bottom out like so. You'll put the bottom underneath the fabric. We're going to start over here in the corner. So I will pull my fabric up to about there, right? Then I take my hoop, or the top of my Nurge hoop, and I will I will push this down until it fits around the fabric like so, and then we'll tighten it down, and we'll pull the fabric from the top and the sides like so, and the fabric is ready to go. All right, so how do you get your floss onto your needle? We're going to start with the baked apple, Weeks Dye Works, and the way that I do it is I take my fingernail like so, pull out 1 6 skein, a bunch of thread or floss. I will separate out 1 skein of it, just one, and then hold the rest of them and pull it off the skein. Okay, put that to a side. Now, this chart calls for 2 strands of floss. We're going to use 1 strand like this and fold it in half, which will make it 2 strands. I put the 2 tails together like so and pull them to. I also take a pair of scissors. And I will trim the edges just a little bit so we have a fresh cut. Let's put the scissors away. Take the needle, pull the two pieces together. Let's get that out of the way. And then we will thread the needle like so. We have both strands in. We'll pull them through, and we're ready to stitch. Right? So I'm going to start my stitch right here. I'll find my first thread, my first hole, and we'll pull that through. We'll come up to the corresponding hole, just like this. See, the thread is going through. Leave the tail out. Pull the tail, put the needle through the hole, and pull it through. And go back into the same hole that you came out of to secure the thread, just like this. And that is the first half of a cross stitch. Now, as you can see, it's in a block. And so you'll come up to the corresponding edge on the other side, just like this, like that, okay? You'll come up here, and you'll go across it and go back down, just like this. And that is the first cross stitch. All right, so the second stitch is going to be right here. And we'll go into the corresponding hole at the top and pull the stitch through, just like this. And then come back up through the stitch to the hole to the bottom there, just like that. Okay, so let's say that you want to take that stitch out. It's in the wrong place and you need a tool. So I'm going to put my needle over here on my needle minder, and I'm going to go in for a tool out of my handy dandy needle case, and it's called a Grab It. So we're going to go in here. We're going to take the pointed edge of it, and it will softly pull out the threads, just like that. If we want to carry it through to the end, we put the pointed end, just like this one. See where the end is? And we'll go in here, just like this, where the thread is and where the hole is. We'll put that through. We'll go underneath and pull it through. All right, now we're going to flip the piece over, okay? We flip it over, and as you can see, the thread is just hanging on, just there, okay? Take the end and put it in the loop, and you've taken the stitch completely out. Okay, so we also sell here at 123 Stitch these little nifty things called grime guards, and this is a very large grime guard, okay? So what I do is that I will go down here where my fabric is leaning over the edge of the frame or the Nurge, and I will roll this up and crease it down, just like this, all the way around. You're going to roll it up and crease it down, okay? You'll take the grime guard, just like this. You'll put it over top of the fabric, just like this, and move it all the way around. I stick the grime guard up underneath or above the stitch, the magnet, the guard. I will peel this piece back. This is where I'm stitching, and this is where I will start, just like this. Now, why do we use a grime guard? To keep our piece clean, the edges clean. You're all supposed to wash your hands before you start stitching and keep them clean so you're not transferring food or oil or your oil on your hands to your stitch. Also, with this, I will take my threads, if I have a loose thread like this one, the one we're working with, and I will take it up underneath. See, underneath my needle minder, and wrap it around, and it'll keep that thread out of the way and safe until we stitch again, just like this. Okay. And then put the needle back into your needle case, and you're done for the day. So I'm not going to stitch completely today. I'll wait till late this afternoon. So I thought that I would show you the tools that I use. Of course, I use needle liners. I use a metal ring to keep my flosses together. I keep all of my tools in one of these lovely cases, which we do carry here at 123 Stitch. On the case, I always, it's going into a particular bag, so I always keep it with the chart's name and designer and the count and the fabric color and count I'm using. In this lovely box are my tools. I have a highlight marker for my pattern, so I can highlight the stitches I've done. I have a line keeper that will go onto your chart itself to keep you in line for that particular chart. I have a pencil. I have a wash away marker that I mark my fabric with, or if I'm getting into a particular complicated set of stitches, I will mark where they will go. I have a sewing guide. This is very handy. I put normally 3 inches for my fabric, so I can just put the 3 inches, pull it through to 3 inches, put it on my fabric, and I'll find the 3 inches. I have a needle case. It is also magnetic. I keep whatever size needles I'm using for that particular stitch. In this case, it's a 16 count fabric, so I'm using 26 count, or I'm sorry, 26 size, 26 Bohin needles. I have a grab it tool in here and 2 needles ready to go. I also have a pair of scissors. Excuse me. And I have a detailer. Now, what does the detailer do? Let's close this out. Let's suppose you have this tail. This is the tail of your floss that you're trying to thread underneath your stitches. You will take this detailer. Oh, sorry, it fell out of my hand. You'll take the end of it. See how it's curved and it's got this little thin wire? You'll put the end of it through the bottom of your stitches, right, just like that. See, just like that. You will take the thread itself and thread it through the part that's open. Let's see here. Part that's open, just like this. Okay, just like this. Okay, and then you can pull it through. So let's say you've done your stitching for the day and you're ready to put your materials away. How do I do that? I will disassemble everything, just like this. Taking the magnets away, I will secure my thread. The needle minders come off. We'll take it out of the Nurge. Don't store your fabric in the Nurge overnight because you don't want it to crease the fabric. We'll open the Nurge all the way up and pull it out. I then fold the fabric back up, just like this, and I'll fold it into quarters. I take the bag that I was sent, the fabric came in, and I put it back in the bag. It'll keep it clean, just like this. Seal it back up. Put my hoop together, and then I put everything away in a stitch bag, just like this. This floss, I take it and I take the floss and I make a big knot, just like this, leaving the tail out so nothing is frayed. My needle minders go back into my case. Case is closed, and then I put everything back in my bag. We thank you for joining us here at 123 Stitch. If you like this type of video, give it a thumbs up. As always, we do read all of your comments, subscribe. And if there's something you want me to cover in specific, please let us know below. Again, have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.